What's up guys, KalipezTech here, coming back at you with another video. Today, we're going to be demonstrating Fortnite on the Samsung Galaxy A52. This phone has a lot of features that make it appealing for types of content consumption like gaming and video streaming and that sort of thing. And I've actually demonstrated several different mobile games, from Fruit Ninja to Angry Birds to PUBG Mobile, all sorts of things, and they all ran really well on this phone. But today, we're going to do perhaps the most intensive demonstration yet and test out Fortnite to see just how well it runs on this device. So let's get started. We're currently loading everything up. We're going to see how long it takes. So everything is all loaded up real nicely. It didn't take too long, just a minute or two. Pretty much what I would expect. We are in the main screen now and everything looks really good. One thing about this phone that makes a game like this really look good is the fact that it has a Super AMOLED display. A Super AMOLED display is going to have much nicer colors than something like an LCD display. They're going to be a lot brighter and a lot more vivid. So everything's just going to look generally nicer, especially in games like this where the colors are so strong and vivid in the first place. And having a 1080p resolution is going to make these details look nicer. And since this game has a ton of animation, I'm sure, I've honestly played it maybe once in my life, so I'm not too familiar with the gameplay or anything like that, but I can tell so far that it has a ton of animation, tons of graphics, that sort of thing. So the 1080p display is really going to come in handy here. So we're going to start a match and see exactly how the gameplay looks on this phone. We're currently in the loading screen once again, and here we go, the game is starting. The graphics do look decent. So far, things do look pretty good. I was honestly expecting the graphics to be a little bit sharper. It's not bad, but I have seen everything look a little bit better on other devices, but for what this phone is, it's not too bad. There is a little bit of lag here. It's not quite as smooth as some of the other games like PUBG Mobile that I've played that are a little bit similar to this one. There's definitely a noticeable amount of lag, but so far it's not really getting in the way of the gameplay. I really couldn't say I know what's going on right now. Despite the lag that happens every now and then, the motion on the screen is pretty decent, and that's most likely due to the fact that this phone has a 90Hz display. When a phone has a 90Hz display, it's going to be a lot faster and smoother than the motion on the screen from a phone that doesn't have a 90Hz display. So that is one benefit of playing this game on this phone. Now, again, with the lag, it does happen a little bit more often than I would want it to. But as you can see right now, I did die, so I'm just spectating. So that might make a difference. I feel like when you're watching something happen versus actually doing it, when you're doing it, it's gonna lag more. But when you're just watching like this, when you're waiting to respawn, it's probably not gonna lag nearly as much as it does in the actual gameplay itself. So besides the lag, everything does look pretty decent on the screen. As I said before, I'm not too familiar with how this game actually works. I don't really play video games that much anyway, but the controls are actually really simple and it's pretty easy to learn. And because of the display size, it is pretty comfortable. Now, again, things keep lagging just a little bit more than I would want them to. It's getting to the point where it's starting to be a little bit disrupting in the gameplay. Sometimes when there's a lot of action, it's hard to figure out exactly what's going on, and it really does freeze up quite a bit. This lag also does make the controls a little bit tougher. Overall, I would say if you're more experienced in this game and you do really know what's going on and already know how to play it and everything like that, then you should be pretty good most of the time. But if you're really new to it and don't really know how to play, then it's going to be a little bit difficult, because having a game lag while you're trying to figure out the controls is just not the best experience. As you can see there, it just did it again. And I honestly am surprised, because I thought PUBG Mobile was really similar to this game. And the Samsung Galaxy A52 ran PUBG Mobile really well, but I guess the graphics in this game are a lot more intense than PUBG Mobile. This game is definitely up there as far as high performance gaming goes. So if you really want to play a game like this a lot, then I would suggest looking for a more high-end device, because I could not see myself playing this game for very long on this phone. There's just too much lag. It's hard to see really what's going on. The screen is practically frozen, as you can see there, and the controls are barely working. The auto fire function in this game does kind of make up for the lag, but at the same time, it's still not a very pleasant experience. It's just kind of all over the place. And I know you're supposed to build things in this game, and that's a lot more complicated than just randomly shooting people. And I honestly can't imagine doing that with this. Overall, when you're sitting still or if there's minimal stuff going on, then it looks okay. But when you're moving or trying to do really anything, it just gets to be so messy that it's hard to even... There we go again. Everything just froze up completely, and now, as you can see, it's a lot more difficult to play this game on a phone like this than it would be on a more high-end device. So in conclusion, does Fortnite work on the Samsung Galaxy A52? Technically, yes, it does run on this phone. Now, how well it runs is a different story. In my opinion, I don't think the Samsung Galaxy A52 is very suitable to play Fortnite, especially for long periods of time. It does work, and if you know what you're doing, if you're super familiar with the controls and have a lot of patience, then it should be okay for a little while. But if you're planning on playing this game for long periods of time, or if you're new to the game in general, or if you just want the best experience you can get while playing it, I can't say I would recommend this game for Fortnite. Even though the phone has a 90Hz Super AMOLED display that's a decent size, it just doesn't make up for the lag. The graphics do look decent, even though they're not quite as sharp as I've seen them in the past on other devices. And because of the Super AMOLED display, the colors are really bright and those look really good, but it just lags so much that sometimes it's almost unplayable. I am connected to Wi-Fi currently, so all that lag is based on the phone itself and not bad internet. So at the end of the day, yes, you can technically play Fortnite on the Samsung Galaxy A52, but on the other hand, I wouldn't recommend it because this phone really doesn't have the processing power to give you a good experience without a bunch of lag. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.